Proportionally, the Bimini's too tall for this 17-foot boat, so it needs to come down. Might need to come aft a little bit too. Took 16 inches off the front leg. It's a pretty good height, but the other bars need to go in a little bit. For those of you who haven't used a tubing cutter, you basically put it in position, rotate the knob to get a friction point. You spin it around and turn the knob a little bit more to cut into the tubing, and you just keep going until the tube is cut. Super easy. Some will say putting a Bimini top on a low-profile V-drive is blasphemy. It can get quite hot here at Folsom Lake, so we're leaving it on. Here I'm taking a couple of inches off the bows to see if I can get a better fit. The tubing cutter leaves a ridge on the inside diameter, and that needs to come off for the tubes to be able to fit over the fittings. Not fitting perfectly just yet, almost there. That did the trick, and now it fits. Well, it's better, but we're not quite there yet. We gotta shorten the rear struts a little bit more. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, further up. As Lon is pointing out, it's not yet perfect, but that's okay. Okay, here we are. First version of the Bimini top. There's Lon in the background enjoying his martini in his refrigerated mug. It's a little lower. Can't say that it's perfect, but it's a little more proportionate to the size of the boat. We may have to make this bow a little bit shorter. Alright, we got the mandella home safely. We have it in the garage, but I have a few chores to do to the boat before we can take it out for a sea trial. One of them is to charge the battery. Battery had a pretty good charge at 90%, but we'll top it off. So this boat is set up with a battery and a battery switch, which is quite nice, and a circuit breaker. Of course, I'd get a horn. I've got some lube for the V-drive, stabilizer for the fuel, a new fire extinguisher, and another mooring line. And the chores will commence this weekend. 90% charge, 13.5 volts, back to 90%. We have some grease on the wheel, and most of it is left over from before when the seals were changed. One of the best things to get grease off is PB Blaster. Super easy. Let it soak a little bit. Diesel fuel is another good solvent for degreasing, but I have PB Blaster, so that's what I'm using. Here's what the wheels look like after a little cleaning. Not perfect, I still got some residue on there, but we'll get those polished up. And now it's time to remove the CL numbers for Colorado. Using a little bit of heat, will peel off quite easily. Unfortunately, there's some glue residue. A little later I'll put some PB Blaster on there and let it soak for about 15 minutes and it'll scrape right off. plastic razor blades work great for this kind of work, but the letters are pliable enough that all I need to do is soften them up a little bit and peel them off. There were no O-rings on the gas caps, so there was always a gasoline smell in the garage. Adding the O-rings sealed off the gas tanks. No more gasoline smell. At this point, I added some fuel stabilizer. Okay, taking some of the interior apart. There's the engine, the velvet drive transmission, the Castle V drive, and all that black paint's got to come off, and that roll there's got to come out of the boat, as this one is going to come out. This is broken, so that needs to be ground out and refiberglassed in. No big deal. I need to do a little education on the Castle V drive. I think that is the fill screw, and I think the one on the other side is the drain, but I'm not sure, so I gotta Google that and look that up. I added some gearbox oil to top it off. It was in good shape. Took a little bit. That's okay. I prefer that anyway. And these black panels are in here. Held speakers and stuff, but these will all fit in here. It turned out to be more challenging removing the wires from the speakers than I imagined it would be. So we took out those panels. Speakers need a place to live now. We'll get that figured out. Got that one out. It opens up this area a little bit, makes the boat feel a little bit roomier. Still have glue residue, so I'm using PB Blaster to soften the let it sit a little longer and come off easier, but I'm being a little impatient. So I'll apply some more PB Blaster and let it soak, and it'll come right off. Some toys came with the boat. I'm checking them out to see if they'll hold air. some nice toys that came with the boat. They just need to be washed, which I'm going to do now. And the CF numbers are soaking. There's still some residual, but it's looking pretty good. We have a couple of floaties and an inflatable, and they all cleaned up very nice. And they all hold there. So installed a standoff there on both sides. So it'll limit how far back it'll go. There you go. Well, I did spent a little time buffing the sides, and it cleaned it pretty nice. Put the CF numbers on there. This side has not been touched. I tried some rubbing compound on this side, but clearly it needs some sanding. Put the interior back in the boat so it doesn't look like a giant project, even though it might be. It just looks a little nicer. Come back next time for more adventures, and thanks for watching.